Sharp was the line with a wicked grin. Now shuffles the cards where the tales begin. Lauren lights a candle, the shadows play. Whispers of ghosts keep the night at bay. Rosé readings under the moonlight. Tarot and laughter in the witching night. Spooky but sassy, the vibe's just right. Charmel and Lauren make the dark so bright.
All right, you guys ready for another Say What Spirit Edition? So far, just to remind everybody to ground us, Mel has 2 points. Lauren has 1 point.
Wait, why does she have 1 point?
Because on the last one,
She gave me credit for that one.
because she said,
Unpack?
yes, because it said in the back.
And she said unpack.
Yeah, but
You're giving her credit for ack?
I'm giving her credit for the sound. My rules said if it sounds similar, if you're getting the soundings. So she gets a point for that.
Yeah, it should be like half a point, but whatever. Okay.
You have 2. She has 1. You're still winning. Okay. Ready? Okay. Before I replay it, I'm going to give you guys a hint. I think it's helpful to understand what you're actually listening for. I'm not going to tell you what you're listening for word-wise, but listen for the voice. I'm just trying to put Lauren's mental space in that space. So I actually hear something different than what they have here.
The silliest thing at the end.
So do you guys want me to tell you what it is supposed to say first?
No.
Okay.
I kind of like the idea of us saying ours and then we play it again to see if you can hear what we said.
Okay.
You want me to go first? Well, I have like a few. The first kind of thing I heard was mothering type or mother intake, mother in 10. And then the more you played it, the more I kept hearing measuring tape, which made me laugh. But I heard or like murdering, bludgeoning, pleasuring, measuring. Pause to listen.
Hold on. I heard something totally different from what they actually said, and I will tell you guys at the end. I didn't hear a single word that you had there.
Again,
I
now,
heard similar.
should we play it again now that you
No.
listen for?
No. I want to hear what she
Well,
thinks.
first of all, listen for measuring tape, and then we can
Sure.
have a chuckle.
But I heard similar.
Oh, okay.
Pleasure and 10.
Okay.
And I heard what's your intent?
Oh, what's your intent?
What's your intent and pleasure and 10? So measure and 10.
Yeah, in 10.
And what's your
I did
intent?
also write pleasuring. There was definitely like
So pleasure and 10.
there's definitely like an ing or an in take in 10.
Yeah. So we both got pleasure and measure and 10. We both got 10.
Okay. Or bludgeoning. I mean, I guess it's hard.
Look, and I got what's your intent?
So we can play it again.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I can see where you guys are thinking it's sure, like a
Pleasure and 10.
Yeah.
mature.
Or jur.
Pleasure and 10.
See, listen for measuring
what's
tape.
your
Listen
intent?
for measuring tape. Ready? Yeah.
I still hear a P at the front.
Pleasure.
I do hear pleasuring.
Pleasure and tape.
Wait, let me
Then.
listen for mothering type again.
Or what's your intent? What's your intent?
Actually, I hear what's your intent. And that's probably the closest to me. That's not what they said.
So I think bludgeoning is a possibility. Bludgeoning type
Something.
and bludgeoning 10, bludgeoning tape, bludgeoning.
So the context is always a little bit helpful. So they recorded this at their home in Danbury, Connecticut. and said some spirits just want us to know that they are around and that they don't consider themselves to be dead. So they think it's saying we're not dead.
I think me and Mel are actually closer.
I think what's your intent? Actually, when I closed my eyes, that one I heard the clear.
Yeah. What's your intent?
I do think I hear pleasure of some sort more, like a
The fact that me and you got measure and pleasure and
Mhm.
10.
Yeah, in 10 or intake.
I don't know. What do you
There's
guys
some
think?
like there's definitely a T in there, right?
Yeah.
It's either a T for like 10 take type or like, and we both heard in. So it's either the separate word of in or it's attached to the first word. Because I heard a lot of ings.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but like, what's your intent
Mhm.
is the closest thing to an actual thought.
Yeah. And it would, to me, it kind
Well,
of
what did
makes
they
sense.
ask though? Did they ask it a
They
question?
didn't say that they asked anything.
They're just
It says I just recorded this clip in my home in Danbury, Connecticut. What, like
Bondage.
porn?
I don't know. No,
Bondage?
I was thinking bondage.
I was
not
thinking like
just a
VHS
VHS.
tape.
Or pleasuring tent.
Yeah.
It's a pleasuring tent.
Yeah.
That's their intent. That's what
Yeah.
what the ghost wanted us to know is
Yeah.
they were living in a pleasuring tent.
Yeah.
Or there's a bludgeoning tape in the home.
Okay. So we're going to play. I'm trying to decide how
Or
to
they
give.
died looking for the measuring tape.
So, I mean, I'm the rule maker of this. I guess I get to decide, and I really like what's your intent. I heard that
No.
one clearly.
That's not how this is judged.
This is my game. I came up with the rules. What do you mean this is how
You
this
don't
is
get to pick
judged?
which one you like the most.
The one that to me
Well, neither of us got
sounds.
it. Neither of us got it. We didn't get what it said it was. That's the game.
Okay, fine. But you can't take my own game away from me.
Yeah, because you can't change the rules because the whole point of
We
knowing what
should
it was
be able-
having
no.
an unbiased. Yours is biased.
Audience. Okay. You know what? It's my game. I'm changing the rules. We're going to make this so that you guys can vote on what you guys think. I'll have my ratings, and I will say that Lauren doesn't get a point for it. Okay.
And neither of us get points.
I will have my ratings. Lauren doesn't get a point for it, but we're going to have the audience vote for who they think won. Close your eyes.
Yeah, but I hear ing.
I don't hear an ing.
If it's I hear the what's your, but I hear what's your intent.
Okay, we're going to play one more, and then we're going to move on to lore with lore.
Okay.
It kind of sounds like a little boy.
Okay. I mean, how do you feel?
It's not the TV sound. It is the sound of the person talking over the TV.
I don't feel great about this one.
Would it help if I tell you what I think the TV is saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just like what's the TV? Saying
Something.
It's like
something
high pitched voice.
watching. Something watching.
It's like a high pitched girl voice. Is the
Something
TV.
watching. That's the TV.
Oh.
Yeah.
You haven't spent a lot of time watching old VHSs with TV, like camcorder recordings with TVs playing in the background. Because that to me so clearly reminds me of like watching footage of myself as a kid where we just have the TV on in the background. And I can immediately tell. I'm like, that's a TV.
But I don't.
You don't hear another sound?
Yeah, but I don't know which one.
Right there. Do you want me to say what I think I hear?
Yeah, I don't know which one's different.
Well, okay, first, it kind of sounds French. And it sounds like it's saying like a mouche poo, like a
That's close enough.
mouche poo. And then I was trying to hear English. I heard a new school or a moose pool. You know, this is me trying again for a moosh pool, but I heard a moose poosh.
I don't think it's not actually. I hear what you're hearing. I don't think it is actually ending in the wool.
There's a sh in there.
Okay.
A moosh poo.
So a moosh poo is actually closer to what I think it's saying than what they have here, but it is a similar message.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it French?
It's not French at all. So a moosh poo, he says, I recorded this clip in my home. I was using the voice recorder on my iPhone to record myself playing the piano, but I didn't hear any piano happening. When I played it back, I could really clear a boy's voice saying, he thinks it was saying, you missed me. That is not what I think it's saying.
Oh, there's a.
He says, my daughter was watching television. You can hear it in the background, but the boy's voice is definitely not coming from the TV. Interestingly, that day we had just gotten back from a week-long vacation, which may account for the voice that I missed him. I don't think he's saying you missed me. I think he said I missed you, which is if you listen, that's where that ooh sound is coming in.
School. Boosh. It's a shush.
Ooh.
It's an oosh. I missed you. Well, I'm trying to make I missed you.
No, but
sound in the way he's saying.
I hear a clear mist. There's static over it, but I hear a clear, I missed you. I don't know how he got you missed me, because that's not at all the cadence. I still hear I missed you. So let us know what you guys think. Is it a new school, which is where I went to college, Parsons, the new school? Did you hear I missed you? Did you hear a new school? You ready to tell us a story?
All right. So for this lore by lore, Lauren's gonna finish chewing, and then we're gonna have her tell. Oh, by the way, okay, for new users, lore by lore is when we tell the lovely Lauren a story, a well-known story. The goal being a scary story, and we have her tell it from memory because she should know it. If you know Lore, she can forget some things. She's also very funny.
She's also very smart. She just has a terrible memory.
So we're going to tell her the title of the story, and she's going to tell us what she remembers.
My version.
Her version, Laura's version of the lore. Okay, so the story for you today, dear Laura, is the legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Ooh. All right.
All right.
So, once upon a time,
Very good.
Great start.
Yeah, you're doing solid.
Ichabod Crane
Very good.
was called to Sleepy Hollow to
Where? Oh yeah, where's Sleepy Hollow?
let's see, New Hampshire.
Okay, we're
I
going.
feel like that's fair.
It's the same place you guessed last time, but okay.
Do we give her like a region? I'm saying like, can she guess a region? Like the South.
New England.
All right.
Sleepy
Was it
Hollow.
all of those or one of? Was that it?
New
what is your-
England area?
We'll allow it.
Well, I'll take it. Continue.
Ichabod Crane was called to Sleepy Hollow to investigate. People's heads were becoming missing.
Missing?
Missing. They were
Just-
just missing.
So were people just walking around without heads?
People's heads were just missing.
Like
Elaborate.
people, like buried people in a grave.
No, don't lead her. How are the heads missing?
So people's heads were just mysteriously missing.
Alive.
No, they're dead. They're dead.
Okay.
Well, they would have to be dead if their head is gone. I'm saying,
I
where
don't
did
know.
they?
This is the legend. Like, could they be walking around?
Legends of Sleepy Hollow. So
How did they find out these heads were missing of dead people?
their bodies were just showing up with their heads missing.
Unearthed from a grave or in the morgue?
That's what I was trying to say. Who were these people? Were they well-known people, or were they people who were already dead?
Okay. So they were prominent people of the town of Sleepy Hollow.
Okay.
And so Ichabod Crane was a prominent doctor / investigator.
Okay. I feel like that's you're covering both ends with that answer. Was he a doctor or an investigator?
Investigative doctor.
Maybe he was like Dr. Watson. Okay. All right. All right. Oh, what's the time period?
The late 1700s.
Okay.
And these people's heads were just all of a sudden, these prominent figures of the town were just showing up dead, but their heads were missing. So they were like, why?
Okay, like new deaths.
New deaths.
Okay.
And they didn't know why these people were showing up dead. not only dead, but their heads were missing. So they called upon Ichabod Crane. I mentioned that their heads were missing.
Through the
We got all
network.
of that. What
Now, what happened once Ichabod Crane got there?
So once he arrived at Sleepy Hollow, he started investigating.
Okay.
And once he started investigating, he started to uncover some dark lore amongst the town.
Ooh, like some tea.
Some tea.
Ooh.
So once he found out that some mischievous things were happening amongst the people in Sleepy Hollow. In Sleepy Hollow, they were trying to hide a pregnancy.
This is starting to sound a little bit like the movie The Black Dahlia, but continue.
That's a real case.
No,
Oh, okay.
Right. So the main family in Sleepy Hollow, the wife of the main family, she was having
Like the mayor.
The mayor, yes.
Yeah.
The wife was having an affair.
We established that there's like a Ichabod Crane, that there's a headless people, that he's a.
I just remembered the headless.
You just remembered those.
That's a huge part of the story.
Right, so what happened?
Yeah, what happened?
He was fighting some soldiers in the movie, and one of the girls broke a stick, and so he ended up getting his head cut off because she alerted him to the soldiers. So she actually ended up taking his head, and she summons his body. So she took his head, and she like ends up being a witch later on, and she can like summon the headless horseman whenever she wants. Okay, so now rewind.
Oof.
So now this is like that's the background of the headless horseman. So now that woman who's the witch, she summons the headless horseman. Now she's married to the mayor. Mayor, she's part of the prominent family. She's now picking up all these like people of the whole town because she wants to have she wants to like have all the riches, I guess, of the family because she's trying to hide the secret of her affair. I think of her affair. I think she's trying to.
Is Christina Ricci the daughter?
Yes, she's the
Okay.
stepdaughter.
I'm also going to just let you guys know that I think the movie version took some liberties that are not true to the actual story. So
He's actually uncovered all of this information. He falls in love with Christina Ricci.
Yep. Yep, that. The daughter
The daughter.
of the mayor.
He thinks that she's actually the one summoning the headless horseman, when actually she just did a protective spell on him. And he's having all these flashbacks of his mother actually being killed by her husband, like of her being actually a witch, but actually she was a good witch. And he thinks that Christina Ricci is a witch. And so this whole like misdirection of Christina Ricci being the witch. So this whole time we're thinking it's all Christina Ricci, and it's not. So I end up finding out it's the stepmother this whole time.
Because there's a big battle scene.
Yes.
But what's the thing with the bridge? Isn't it he can't go past his bones? Is that it?
Oh yeah.
He can't like. There's like he can't cross the bridge.
Well, they think he can't, but he actually does.
Oh.
And they have this like gnarly tree where he actually lives in. That's where he comes out of. That's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that where his body is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His body. Like that's where he.
So what was the secret? Do we just not remember the secret? I don't remember either.
She was like.
She was definitely killing off people intentionally.
I think she was having an affair. Like I think the affair was what she was hiding.
And those people had seen them?
Yeah. Yeah. Remember how she like split her hand? And she like smeared blood on that guy's back?
yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen the movie, but yeah.
She was having affairs behind her husband's back. Yeah. And she was trying to hide them. And I think it was a pregnancy because remember there was the abortion and she cut that other girl's stomach. Yeah. And pretended that was the stomach and ended up not being actually the person's baby. Yeah. So I think there was a pregnancy that they were hiding.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah. What did we miss?
Yeah, I was impressed by your memory of this movie. I actually remember seeing this movie for the first time. I snuck into it. It was like we paid for a different movie, and then because we were like 14 or 15, and we snuck into. It was with like two of my friends. So to caveat that what I have is the Legend of Sleepy Hollow details as written by Washington Irving in 1820. So this is the actual story. This is not the movie. And as you told the movie, I was like, oh, the movie is not the same as the book.
But that's still, you did a very good job.
You did a good job with the movie. So the reality is, unless Mel you want to read this from this old haunt style reading.
This old legend. All right, guys. Let's hop in our Wayback Machine. Let's travel back to 1790, just after the American Revolutionary War, to a sleepy little village in New York's Hudson Valley. The town is steeped in superstition. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. There's New England and then there's New York.
Yeah, Hudson Valley is getting towards New England because Hudson Valley is near Westchester, which is near Connecticut. It's close enough.
And no legend is more feared than that of the Headless Horseman, said to be the ghost of a Hessian soldier who lost his head to a cannonball during the war and now rides at night searching for it. Enter Ichabod Crane, a lanky, awkward, and superstitious schoolteacher from Connecticut, not a doctor. He arrives in Sleepy Hollow in 1790, hired to teach the local children. He was hired to teach the local children. Ichabod is clever but greedy. He dreams of marrying into wealth and sets his sights on Katrina Van Tassel, the beautiful only daughter of a wealthy farmer. But Ichabod isn't the only one courting Katrina. His rival is Brom Bones, a confident, brawny prankster beloved by the town. In October of, except they just really want to reiterate that this was 1790.
I said late 1700s.
You did. You were right. Ichabod is invited to a harvest party at the Van Tassel estate. After feasting and dancing, the guests trade ghost stories, especially tales of the Headless Horseman. Brom even claims he once outran the ghost himself. Later that night, Ichabod rides home alone. The woods are pitch black. Suddenly, a shadowy rider appears, the Headless Horseman. Ichabod races for the bridge near the old Dutch church, where the ghost is said to vanish. Just as he crosses, the horseman throws his head right at Ichabod, but he doesn't have a head.
The pumpkin is his head.
Oh, the pumpkin. Okay. There's no pumpkin in the Sleepy Hollow one. He just is headless.
No.
No, he carries a pumpkin.
He carries it, but it doesn't sit on his head.
It's supposed to be his head. Like it's got a face.
The horseman throws his head right at Ichabod. By dawn, Ichabod is gone. All that's found is his trampled hat and a shattered pumpkin. That would have made it clear for me. Some say Ichabod fled town in fear after Katrina rejected him. Others swear the horseman got him. Either way, Brom Bones marries Katrina not long after. And when Ichabod's name comes up, he just smiles. That's the end of the story.
The end.
Wait, that told us nothing.
That's the story.
So is it Brom Bones is supposed to be
So I think
trolling
it's
the
supposed to
Sleepy?
leave you questioning, was it the Headless Horseman or was it Brom Bones?
It was written by Washington Irving in 1820.
I definitely like the lore by lore.
Of course, lore by lore is always
Well, the
better.
movie has Ichabod doesn't just disappear.
Yes, and that's why I was saying, I'm like, oh, this story is not the same. Like I realized, I was like, they took creative license with the movie because it makes it more entertaining to make it about like an affair and an abortion and
Yeah, I mean, this makes it seem like obviously this dude Brom Bones either summoned the horseman.
Oh, you know what it was? Everybody was a witness to like a secret marriage or something. That's what it was. So they're picking off everybody who was a witness to it. That's what it was.
Well,
Because I think the secret marriage would have made them to like the goat heir or something. Or some like I'll have to rewatch it, but like
we don't have heirs in America.
no, but in a wealthy family you do like
an inheritance.
inheritance.
Okay, not like heir to power, heir to money.
Yeah,
not the royals.
Well, that's why I said.
My favorite part of this was sleep well and keep your head down.
Head down. Well, that was great. Great job, Laura.
Good job, Lauren.
For
Yay.
Lauren. Thanks for Lauren. Were we gonna read one more?
Okay, so one final tale from the shadows from TikToker Bella Renee, Rene, just to clarify. I've seen ghosts for as long as I can remember. The first ones I ever saw were my grandparents. My grandmother used to appear beside my bed and sing to me. They, sh- they showed up often throughout my childhood. It felt normal to see them. And it wasn't just them. I saw others too. People walking around who weren't alive. When I was 13, something happened that I'll never forget. One night, I was watching TV in my room when I noticed what looked like breath fogging up my window outside. I tried to wipe it away, but it was definitely on the outside. I didn't think too much of it, and I eventually went to bed. That's so creepy to see like what looks like somebody breathing on your window.
Would have thought it was like my windows do that when I have the AC cranked up, but it's
Yeah.
hotter outside, you
Yeah.
know? Went to bed, didn't have a head.
It was that this person. Later that night, I woke up for no reason. I rubbed my eyes and looked toward the foot of my bed, and there was a figure sitting there. He didn't have a head. His head was actually beside him, resting like the headless horseman. Guys, this is a synchronicity. Because I didn't read this, and we just chose your story like just now.
There was another option and we just picked it. Maybe I do live on haunted land. If I mean, I most definitely do if
I was actually beside him, resting on the mattress like it belonged there. I shot up and asked, "Who are you?" And the head, yes, the head answered. He told me his name was John. He said he wasn't there to hurt me. I asked why he didn't have a head.
Can you put it back on, please, ma'am?
Right. Can we have this conversation with your head on, please? That would be fantastic. He told me a story I'll never forget. He said that back in the day, he owned a large ranch, not a plantation, but close. He had workers, unwilling workers, AKA enslaved people. One day, his daughter was killed. He believed one of those workers was responsible, and in his rage, he took that man's life. But later, he found out the worker was innocent.
Of course.
Of course. Riddled with guilt, he said he didn't know how to live with what he had done. So he went to the man's family and offered himself up, let them do what they saw fit. And well, you can probably guess what they did. After that night, John never left. He stayed with me for years. When I brought home my first boyfriend, things got weird. His belongings would go missing. He'd get shoved for no reason. My mom didn't believe me when I said John was still around. Until one night at dinner, I was telling her the story, and right then, the front door flew open and slammed shut by itself.
He's like jealous or something.
It's like likes her, yeah.
Yeah.
She believed me after that. By my early 20s, I'd moved out to California. Life got busy. My mind was focused on other things, and slowly, John faded away. But when I go back home, I still feel something, a presence. He doesn't show himself anymore, but I know he's there, watching, waiting, familiar.
Cool.
I wonder why he faded.
Maybe he didn't follow her to California.
I mean, but why?
Why didn't he follow her?
Didn't he
Yeah.
follow her other places?
Like, was it her becoming like a mature woman? Her not being able to.
Oh. Or like, see, you went there and I went like, did her brain develop further? Like, how old was she when?
She didn't really, she doesn't
No, that's what I
say.
meant by that. That's what I meant. By that.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the ghost was into little kids.
No, that's what I meant by that. Like,
Oh.
being able to be like a more developed mentally.
She was 13 when this happened, when the first time she saw him happened. Now, I still have questions because my question is, was the house she lived on the property that was his ranch? Like, I would love to know if she ever did any research into whether or not there was any evidence. Like, could she go into the history and find out if there had been a rancher who had been killed by enslaved people, who like gave himself up for what happened? Like, if any of this is valid, if you could validate it, because maybe he didn't want to leave his land. If she moved to California, like maybe he liked her, but he was like, well, I have to stay with my land type of thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wait, how old was she when she first? 13. Okay.
I want to know if she still feels John when she goes home.
So when she goes home, she still feels like his presence.
Could she, next time she's home, be like, John, show yourself to me.
Yeah.
Let's have one final conversation.
Yeah. Like, John, I
What
know
would
you're
that look
here.
like? That?
I know.
Well, Bella Renee,
Yeah.
however you say your name. We already said we were going to reach out to the people on TikTok and let them know that we've covered their stories. So if you do listen or watch this, give us a little bit more information. We'd love to know if you've done any research or found any like facts around this. or if you've attempted to talk to him again.
When you do go back and you feel his presence, is it friendly? Like what
Yeah.
is it?
She said it sounds a little suspenseful. It's like watching, waiting, familiar.
Mm,
So I'm like, how does it
like
Oh.
possessive,
Yeah.
especially like him not liking boyfriends, you know?
Or is it like he thinks of himself as her protector?
Oh, like a father figure.
Yeah, maybe. Or yeah, maybe it's more like this guy's not good enough for you, kind of.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. This dude also, owned humans.
yeah.
Tried to own humans.
I mean, he couldn't have been not necessarily that it makes him like a it makes you not a great person, but I also will give you the qualms of like maybe you were very misguided at the time. So you could have still been like a nice person, but I don't know. Okay, we're going to end with a funny one before we go.
Stupid ghost?
Not necessarily stupid from TikToker at SGT period chaos. So Sergeant Chaos. So I was fooling around with this girl who lived near a cemetery. Her dad came home early and I bailed out the window. I got into the cemetery and tried to get dressed, so I'm not in my birthday suit walking home. That's when, out of the corner of my eye, I started to see shadow people,
Oh gosh.
and they, rightly so, were not happy and started to run at me. So I ran through the cemetery naked, chased by shadow people. I loved that one so much.
You're like, can't be
That is
naked
so
in here.
funny. Yeah, because at what point are you like, put on your clothes or just start running?
Yeah.
And the ghosts are like, leave that poor girl alone.
Yeah.
Like they're judging.
Because they know that they know her.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny. Thank you, Sergeant Chaos, for the laughs.
Yes.
Thank you all for submitting stories.
Yes.
We love hearing them.
coming.
Keep them coming.
All right. So that's a wrap on this month's Rosé and Readings. Thanks for hanging out, drinking with us, spiritually or otherwise, and diving into the weird and the woo woo.
The weird and the woo-woo.
And the woo woo. If you had fun, don't ghost us. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe wherever you're listening. And tell your friends,
Yes.
especially the ones who love haunted history, questionable EVP interpretations, or just need a little chaos in their life. But until then,
See you in the shadows.
bye.
Reading.
In the moonlight.
Woo! Chaos in the, what is the word?
Rosé and readings under the moonlight, tarot and laughter in the witching night. Spooky but sassy, the vibes just right. Charmel and Lauren make the dark so bright. A death card flips, but don't be scared.